welcome to another episode of Bahamian Banter. And who better than the one and only Bahamian gal, Bodine, to have on this episode. Thank you so much for making time for me today.
Thanks so much for having me,
You
Mala.
look amazing.
You told me we was coming to the beach.
Yeah, that's how Bahamian gals are dressed to go to the beach.
Yeah, we put on all our clothes. And then maybe a swimsuit if we decide that we want to do something else.
Yeah, so what are you up to today anyway?
So I have a show at the cruise port which celebrates another Bahamian phenomenal woman.
Ooh.
And I'm really excited about it. So I just found out the call time was like 6 o'clock.
Y'all, this woman is on time. For me, she can be on time for them. I really appreciate that so much. So tell us a little bit about what you do, because we see you a lot I know from growing up. I got to meet you when I was on BTC Star Maker.
Yeah.
And I was in my early teenage years. So I got to actually watch you blossom and see you pretty much put Bahamian media in a chokehold. What do you do exactly?
Okay, so fun fact, I really hate when people call me an influencer, to be honest. And I hate it because I'm not an influencer. I have influence. So for people that don't know me, I have been in music for over 20 years.
Absolutely.
The very first Bahamian woman, female artist with an internationally acclaimed and regionally acclaimed music video. It's Intoxicated.
Intoxicated. I do remember that. I don't know if I should have been listening now when I was younger, but anyway.
When you're in love, you're in love. You know, and so one of the very first Bahamians with a local and international ambassadorship contract with BTC in 2008, where
and you've had it since then, right?
I've had it.
That's incredible.
And then we took a break, and now 2 years running, I've been the BTC brand ambassador. And so I've had a number of opportunities to work in media. I've been in radio for over 20 years. I used to work at Sir Charles Carter's Island FM radio station. I used to produce news for Cable 12 before it was Cable 12. Yes. At Island FM, I was a broadcaster for the communications section of education.
How do you not give up? Because all the different things you've done, you've morphed into so many other things along the way. How do you still have that strong desire?
I think it's purpose. So because I have been in so many places, I've been an entertainer, I am an educator, I am a broadcaster, I am a TV show producer. I produce my own show called Bodine and I. I have spent my time learning the art of pitching businesses, as well as trying to get grants and making sure that I understand the business of culture. I think being in a position to see all of these things evolve and then being able to share that knowledge with upcoming creatives is what keeps me on the job.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people think that you don't deserve what you have. They think that it's favoritism. And I'm like, okay, God is doing what he does.
Absolutely.
But I still have to work.
Yeah, because the spaces that you've gone in, it isn't like you just pop up there. You have a long list of things that you did to even get in these spaces. So if I was someone coming out of school and I look at you and I aspire or I am inspired or influenced by you, what would you say should be my first step in finding a way to make myself marketable to the Bahamian public, which is one of the hardest audiences to have, I feel?
The thing is, I think the first thing that you do is you gain an understanding of who you are as a person and as a creative. And I say that because I struggle trying to figure out, as somebody that taught religious studies and was doing reggae at clubs and at big concerts, the two of those things, people thought they didn't go together.
Right.
And so I had a tumultuous period where I had so much pushback, and then I took a little break and I didn't feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so if you know who you are as a person, and then if you decide on what you want to do as a creative, or you experiment until you find that space,
correct,
I think that's the very first step. If you know the purpose for what you want to do, as opposed to, I just want to be a creative, or I just want to go into a creative space because I just think that it's going to be fun.
And artistry changes.
Yeah.
So it's an evolving process that you even have to be comfortable with the different branches that you start to grow.
Yeah, most certainly. And you have to know those branches inside and out. It's not just falling into something and then you're so good at it that you don't have a need to learn. The next thing I would tell you is, after you figure out who you are and what you want to do through the experimentation, Find somebody that is doing what you do. And if you don't have access to them for them to mentor you, you show up to every event that they are at. You show up to every show that they are at.
Absolutely.
And you study them.
Yeah.
I think one of the big problems we have is that we don't document, maybe on YouTube or on our very own websites, but I think YouTube is probably a better source of it. We don't document our stories so that people can see, oh, well, she didn't just start today. She has videos from 2003 up on her YouTube channel, and boy, this is potato quality, but now look at where she is now.
Yeah.
And after that, I would say, after you study somebody that's doing what you want to do or close to it, and sometimes you don't even have to study the people who are doing what you want to do.
Right.
You study people in fields that are successful, and then you apply the principles that they use to the field that you want.
So it's easy to say then, you have amazing work ethics.
Yeah.
You know how to network. What are you most afraid of then? It doesn't seem like you have a lot of fear in your field. You seem like you could flourish.
I am horrible at networking, you know.
Really?
I am horrible at it. It's something that I'm actively working at. I want to come to work.
Right.
I want to do the work. I want to just completely make you comfortable as somebody that hires me to do what you want me to do. And then I want to go home. And then you recommend me to other people. Like, that's the form of networking that works for me. But I also realize that I have to do so much better with building relationships with people.
Yeah.
But the way I do that is through service, the service I provide.
Correct.
To
consistency.
People. And the consistency.
Accountability to your craft.
Correct.
And of course, being able to fulfill the role that they want you to do.
And then being nice to people.
Yeah.
Some of us need to learn how to be nice to people.
Yes, genuinely true.
And not just nice to the boss, nice to the receptionist.
Yes.
Nice to the person. Oh, I have somebody to call. Because I just remember she sent a message to my sister, like, that's random.
Tingham.
Yeah.
She gotta call you, Tingham.
I gotta call you, Tingham, because before I forget. And so you need to learn how to be nice to the person that's sweeping the floor as well as to the CEO. Because more often than not, the person who is sweeping the floor is the person who is going to get you in the office of the CEO. And so that shouldn't be your motive for it, but it definitely should be a reminder that being kind to people is its own reward.
I want to make special note of something that Billy said to me just now. My granddad is Verno Sands, which I'm sure you're familiar with him, the Goodwill Ambassador. And he always said, if kindness could be connected to your name, you would exist in every room.
Yeah, most certainly.
And that's obviously for you, it's proven to be true because different people are replaceable. And for whatever reason, big corporations replace people all the time.
Yeah, most
But your reputation isn't connected to them. It's connected to what you've done. And the secretary, the people who clean in the room, the people who in these spaces with everyone. And so that's a way of also having humility.
Yeah, most certainly. You know, and in this space, sometimes I feel guilty because I am legitimately rushing through life and people say, hey, you know, I saw you this place, and I have to remember to stop, even if it's only for 15 seconds, and say thank you so much. I said, I really can't stay for a long time, but I do appreciate you supporting my work. And, you know, more often than not, they say, oh, girl, we know you will be. You know, and so people tend to understand that. But also you have to learn to stop to make conversations with the people that watch your television show, the people that say, hey, get Bodine to do this.
Who subscribe to who you are.
Yeah, most certainly.
They're genuinely interested in your product.
Yeah, most certainly. So for me, that's on YouTube. That's on ZNS. That's on Cable 12. That's on social media. That's every time I do an event that I'm booked for. And then they remember me from different places. And I'm not the only person that is in that field, but I'm the only person that does what I do.
And that's because it's unique to who you are.
Correct.
Which brings me to this. How have you found a way to price who you are?
Funny story. So it's a number of years at it. And then is the expertise and what people want. For example, I had to stop saying that I hate hosting. Hosting is my least favorite thing to do.
And you do it so well.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
And I've seen where God is like, baby, you may not like doing it, but this is where your money is in this season.
Smile and wave.
Yeah, just go to where your provision is. Okay?
Right.
Okay. I think that's like an Elijah thing. I can't remember.
The prophet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He had to go where
very
his provision.
biblical. You are a religious studies teacher.
Yeah, but outside of that, God has been good. So I got to say, hey, great job, dog. Right? But anyway, so in pricing myself, I have to have conversations with people who do things that are similar to me, and everybody wants to keep their mouth closed.
Yeah, it's difficult, I find, to even with videography, anything to do with media, when I ask certain people, it's very like, well, it's all based on, it's very close. And you know what? I don't think it's gatekeeping. I think it's just they know they're undervalued and they don't know how to change that.
Sometimes it's because they know that they're undervalued, but also they know that they have high value and they don't want you to undercut whatever it is that they're charging.
Oh, yeah. Wow, perspective is everything. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, so even now, I have, so some people just want you to stand there and deliver lines.
Correct.
Okay? That's one price. And I ask people very carefully when they are booking me, and I only take bookings through email.
So don't DM her.
Don't DM me.
She may not respond. No,
I can send you the book at bodineandvictoria.com, right? And then some people want you to host while interacting with the crowd.
Got you.
Some people want you to host and facilitate, or host and train. And then some people want you to host and you're hosting television or you're hosting online, but you're also hosting people in real life. So you have a hybrid hosting.
It's like,
and I can do that.
Couple things at once.
Couple things all at once. So I dealing with the producer, the DJ, the audience, and then the online audience answering and fielding questions. All of those are different tiered prices.
Absolutely.
Based on the hour and based on what it is that you want. I have a 2-hour minimum. So if you want to book me for 1 hour, you're still going to pay me a price for 2 hours. It's still going to take me time to get ready, drive there, drive back. And then most of my clients, they also want to have either a run through, or they want to have a consultancy call where they walk you through the
A to Z.
Right. I still have to price that time. And so based on the number of years and based on what I understand the going rate is for what it is that I do, I price people. People tend to book me because of the ease of doing business with me. My clients have not said that, oh, we need to go and see what Bodine doing, or Bodine is doing this wrong. Once they give me the brief,
you know what to do.
I know what to do. And that comes with radio and then television and practice.
So you have these different tiers of the product and the price. Mm-hmm. How then do you choose your clients? Because they may be willing to pay, but you may not. You may realize this ain't the client for me.
Baby, I tell you, I had to learn that. So I inhabited like soca and concert spaces, right?
Right.
But I think for right now, God shifted me someplace else. It ain't to churches and it ain't to gospel, but I realized that certain concerts, yeah, I could hype them up, but they ain't for me, right?
Got you.
And I also tell people that my main base is my corporate clients.
Yes.
Sometimes it's simply because
consistency.
It's a consistency. That net 30, net 60 is crazy,
mm-hmm.
but the peace of mind, because they tend to be a lot more organized.
Correct.
And they tend to know specifically what they want from start to finish. If I have to, and then you have some clients that you have to work a little harder with.
Right.
So they may be small business clients, and so you have to sit down there and you have to strategize with them.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes retain new clients by seeing the potential in them and then them trusting me to say, no, I know this is what you have in mind, but I'm going to tell you based on what I'm seeing, what you need is this.
Understood.
And so providing that consultancy with them, I'm able to choose them. And then others, I just listen. I know who you need. Don't call me for baby showers. Don't call me for wedding showers.
So you're willing to put people on? If they call you,
baby,
you'd be like, I know who to plug you in with.
Let me tell you something.
How does that person that you put on, whoever that is, how do they meet a standard where like, my name is connected to your product because I'm referring services to you? What standard must one look like or live up to for that accountability and partnership?
People talk, one. This business is a referrals business, okay?
Yeah.
It is a high-touch referrals business. Then I look at what your socials say, because what you ain't gonna do is shame me.
Not your one good name.
Not my one good name. Sometimes you have people that they're popular.
Yes.
But your corporate clients don't want nothing to do with them simply because of their social media presence.
Got you.
And yeah, they may be gigging, but they just don't want their brand associated with that.
100%.
And so certain clients call, and I've had it before where I would make really good recommendations. I mean, people with good followings, their image is squeaky clean, and they'd be like, no, her attitude stinks.
Wow.
Yep. And I say, okay, well then I have 2 other persons. And I don't do it because I want to I sometimes ask, well, what did she do? And some people don't say, but then other people recount their experiences.
Yes.
It's not a case of them bad mouthing.
It's business.
It's business.
This product just don't work for me.
Right. I just need to know, okay, was there something that was said?
Yeah.
Was there something in the attitude? Because sometimes I find that there are misunderstandings that take place, and sometimes I have to intercede for the person.
Understandable.
You know, I would say, now listen, I understand I wasn't there, but at the core, this person is a very good person. And so I would intercede, and they may give that person an additional try simply because of me recommending them.
So you ain't greedy because you ain't trying to take all the jobs.
I can't.
You ain't trying to be in all the spaces that ain't for you.
No.
Or it's for somebody else and they trying to undercut this person so they put you there. That sounds like so much balance. How did you find this balance to your personality, to your brand, to your business? And overall, just, I really didn't realize there's so much. I knew there were intricacies to what you do, but hearing it, I have such a deep appreciation for balance. And hearing it, it's just like, it's something I want. It's something I'm sure the audience wants. How did you find this balance?
Time. So I also work a 9 to 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a government worker.
I had no idea.
I work a 9 to 5.
Wow.
And so I moved from the classroom,
right,
which was 8:45 to 3:15, and then the whole summer off, plus Easter, Christmas break, midterm breaks, and then you have other little days in between there that you could have off. And so I had a lot more flexibility with my time. So I could be to every regatta, I could be to every homecoming, I could be to every Junkanoo in June, every Gumbe, because it's that time.
Isolated moments.
It's those isolated moments. And then I had that extra 2 hours in the afternoon between 3 and 5. So a lot of the stuff that I needed, like that transition period between 3 to 5 to get from school to the makeup chair or to whatever, and then to the client for 5:30 for that event that starts at 6 or 6:30, I was able to accommodate. I can't accommodate that now. I have 25 physical vacation days, 10 casual days, only holidays off. So 35 days out of the year, plus my weekends, and then some days I have to manage my time well.
Yeah.
And so because
you still got a voice to answer too. That's 9 to 5.
I still have to answer to the government. And one thing with me, I could do the government work. I could do I ain't one of them said that.
You ain't clapping up.
No. And they know. And
that's why they also provide you with some form of flexibility sometimes, because they know flexibility within, let's say you're requesting something special.
Yeah.
They may deem it necessary for you to take that leave.
So the way that I handle that is that flexibility comes with, if I need to leave at 3, I come in an hour early, and then I take my lunch break at 3 and I redeem my hour.
This is how adulting looks.
Right. Because I don't want it to be said that there's favoritism shown to me. Right?
Which could still be said, but you making sure on your account your conscience is clear and
my supervisor ain't gonna catch no heat.
Got you.
Because people assume that I using the government time to do my personal stuff. No, I am doing what I am able to do, and so because I have to, it's not because it's my second business. It's not a sacrifice to give up my holiday or my vacation time, but the premium for my holiday and my vacation time is higher, because then I don't have rest and relaxation time.
Understood. Which brings me to, you work in your purpose, which is after that 9 to 5. But you at the core, you realize it's important to have a consistent job, consistent income. Yeah. And then working for government has so many different benefits too. It does. To it. And you've been in the government system for how many years?
This is my 20th.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy 20 years.
Hey, yeah.
So with all that in mind, it's a good reminder that we can hustle, but it's okay to work for people.
Yeah,
it's absolutely okay.
It's okay. And I just want to say, sometimes you don't even need to take the traditional 9 to 5. Take the part-time job.
Yeah.
Take the part-time job. If the part-time job have a set schedule, that's even better.
True, because you could work around that, and there's no, hey, I need you to come here when you know I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's a great idea.
Take the part-time job, and then make sure you continue to hustle. I have friends that are capable of starting their own businesses, but they refuse to start their own business because it's just easier on the brain to go to a job where you have minimal mental effort to put in, and you still do that with excellence while using your mental energy for your purpose job.
Well, let's be real though, Bodine. it takes a very unique individual to be an entrepreneur. Because whatever it is that you're working hard at, it's not only something you believe in.
Yeah.
You deem that no matter what sacrifice needs to be made,
you're gonna
make it. So those people, I kind of like that they take on those type of jobs, because I need those people at the bank. I need those people to do my car.
Yeah.
I need them. Please keep your job. Don't try to do that if that ain't in you.
If it ain't in you.
But I do appreciate those like you that took on that entrepreneurship role, made time, figuring out whatever changes that you had to go with.
Mm-hmm.
But how does that make time for anything personal? To any type of having any kind of relationship, having any type of anything? How does that work?
So I realized the unhealthy version of me, a lot of my past success was because I didn't have a sense of balance. And so you were seeing like a lot of my trauma come out in creative excellence.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Trauma that turned into art.
Creative excellence.
It's like abstract art.
I listen to me here. People be listening and they be watching and be like, I was on the stage depressed at the time, baby. You know, like it was hard. And even when it comes down to like relationships, I've had men come into my inbox and they'd be like, hey, I'm interested in you. When are you available? And then I'd say, I'm going to be honest. I'm really busy right now. So you have to schedule time to actually like take me out.
Well, at least it'd weed out the jokers, because I would be in your DMs like, hi, Friday night at 6 p.m. I'd like to pick you up.
I bout that life, but don't pick me up. I can meet you. You don't need to know.
Okay, you can't pick her up, but she will meet you.
I can meet you there. I have a car.
What if y'all carpool at an isolated location?
Yeah, most certainly.
Okay, there you go.
Most certainly, but I don't want nobody pulling up to my house. Where I lay my head is sacred bed.
No, I understand that.
So, like, they legit would be like, oh, you're so busy. And I'm like, okay, well, I told you when I was free. Like, what you want me to do?
Right.
I got these bills to pay.
Yeah.
Like, I pay them.
You surely ain't starting this date with a check to pay anything. Yeah,
and I wouldn't take it.
No, exactly.
Like, I don't ride like that.
No.
So, but what I have found is the type of men that are really and truly interested in me. When I say I only have this time and that time available, they'd say, okay, let me take you for this at this time. And then some of them don't follow through. And so you gotta, because don't waste my time.
Well, with all the traveling that you do for not only your job, I'm sure you have to travel with the 9 to 5 with the government at times, but the jobs that you take on that have you traveling, have you been able to meet like different people that seem like, wow, this is actually interesting?
I'm working on networking.
Okay.
Like I'm an introvert. People don't know that.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, because they see me.
I feel like, you know what, you've said this before, but it's kind of like,
yeah,
sure you are. But you're probably low-key like Beyonce. Beyonce is be shaking up on stage and then in the background like, oh my God.
I sit in the corner. And so, like I said, it's been difficult meeting people.
Yeah.
Because my neutral face, like I just sit in here face, apparently that's a strange face to have. People are afraid to approach me.
And you also have, people have their own definition of who you are.
Yeah.
So you this power to be, this force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
I don't need to mess with her.
Yeah. And here's what some of the men say as well. They say, you know what, you beautiful, you talented, you everything. I'm not capable of managing you.
Managing? What, you have a portfolio? A glam, I don't
Clearly. And so I just leave it there, because if you feel like you can't manage me, I think they look at the fact that, like, I work out, I get my hair done, I'm working. I take care of myself and my body. You just have
structure.
I have structure, and they feel as though they can't compliment that. Baby, if you feel that way, thank you. Later.
So your compromise then for what a man would need to bring is very small?
So I wouldn't say that. I do know what I would like, and recently I've been in a place, rewind.
Right.
Over the last 18 months, with the different men that I have met, just in social settings, in workspaces, and those that have engaged me with the intent of getting to know me, I have said, God, I thank you for showing me this guy who shows me that there are kind men. I thank you for introducing me to this guy who shows me that it's not difficult to make time or to engage me, you know, when I am free.
Right.
And I can make time, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said, God, thank you for showing me that there are men that can be really great and loving fathers, that if I have a child with this person, I won't have to do it by myself, because they're very involved men.
Yes.
And so I've spent, like, even though things have not worked out, you know, or gone past maybe like a couple of casual dates because they're just not in that headspace to kind of settle down.
And you also ain't a woman to force nobody to conform.
No,
absolutely not.
That was my 20s, my early 30s. I'm 41 now. I ain't got the time for that.
When you turn 41, you look incredible.
Thank you. That's April.
But y'all don't age. Black women don't age.
Let me tell you what we do.
With this way.
We drink our water.
Mind your business.
We go to the gym. We manage our health.
My goodness.
And yes, girl.
Yeah.
And we pray, girl.
Yeah. And I feel like
you're gonna stress me out.
You have to now, not have to, but the ideal person for you is probably a man who like, not only much emotionally mature, but in age as well. And he look at you like, wow, I finally get the woman.
Sensible woman.
A sensible woman. I gone through so much. Finally.
Yeah.
That's where you've been. You've been Nassau. You've been Bahamas.
I've been right here just chilling. And so I have been on maybe like 1 or 2 dates. We did, and like one of them, we did the art gallery. We did NAGB. And then one day we did, then we went for ice cream.
Oh, nice.
We did ice cream at Bakehouse and Mother Freeze.
Okay.
So that was like our Sunday afternoon date. Like I had a couple hours. I said, hey, I'm free. And he said, okay, bet.
Oh, nice.
And so we did that. And then another one we did like Shakespeare in Paradise.
Oh, it's running again.
Yeah, it's running again.
Great.
And so I had a great time, even though I ain't gonna lie, by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I was
tired.
Like the plays were great. But I ain't gonna lie.
It ain't hitting the way it was when you was 30.
Yeah, no. And if it was earlier in the day, it probably like a matinee, it probably would have been perfect.
But only you would have shown up. Yeah. Only you might have shown up. Yeah.
But I would have had a
funky good time.
Let me tell you, them actors was gonna have a problem trying to keep up with their lives, because I was gonna be talking right back to them like it's a TV. I promise you. You know, and so I think a lot. Not that my standards are low, but I know what I am capable of. A lot of women want to be taken out to dinner on their first dates. I take myself to dinner. I can easily spend like $300 on myself, like sitting to the table myself.
You put us on game, because when you go on your solo dates, I know where to eat, when to eat, what to get. I appreciate that.
I got you, girl. I got you. So like, I don't need you to take me on a date. I would like if you did, but if you think I going on a date just so I could eat a couple of your dollars, like, sir, who you talking
need to date a 20-year-old.
You probably do. I a woman.
She would be impressed.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be impressed.
No offense to 20. I'm 28, but I am also in that. My daddy always would say, you probably like 50, stuck in a 28-year-old body, because I desire quality time. Yeah,
you most certainly. So it's quality time, and then it's also transparency and vulnerability. If you are vulnerable with me, nobody will ever know what it is that has you vulnerable.
Yes.
Because that's a space that I feel like you need to provide for somebody that you're seriously interested in, either a friendship with or a romantic engagement with, leading to marriage. And I find that a lot of us don't make space for people to be vulnerable, and we're not the type of person that can allow people just to breathe.
People don't start out with friendship.
No.
And I'm so grateful in past relationships that I've had really good, so that even when things ended, it was so amicable.
Yeah.
It's so amicable.
Yeah. And I think I tell people a lot of the time, I'm not looking for a husband, I'm looking for a friend.
Yeah.
And so I know at the end of the days when you cannot sleep together anymore, you don't have a desire for it anymore, I need my friend.
Or even if you have children.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to think, if that's something you want, it's ever too late to begin.
Yeah.
If that's a journey for you, that your kids, they take a different priority in your life, but at least you have your friend.
Yeah, my friend needs to be here. And if you get sick, then you are my friend. I need to take care of you, and vice versa. You know, that person that you could sit and you could laugh with, you could argue with, and you come right back together. And your friend is not going to attack you because you have a difference in opinions. And if at any point in time there's an emotional trigger that leads them to make you feel strange, then you both talk about it, or you go to therapy and then you address it, because people come with their own internal issues
and traumas that would be bestowed to them. They had no choice but to embrace it. But speaking of friendship, one of the longest friendships you've had is with your siblings.
Most certainly.
And they seem to support anything and everything you do. That's so incredible, so rare. A lot of people don't have that kind of community within family. How have they helped you to navigate this aspect, you on your 4th decade of life? So they've seen all the Bodines that we never saw. How have you been embracing your family in this journey and passion?
I have a new appreciation for family, especially because, you go from that teen era where your sisters steal all your stuff.
Lord,
yeah.
My sister still ain't stopped doing that. She even live with me. Oh,
Maradona. We love you, girl. And she's traveling everywhere. I love that.
Shout out to Bali.
She's found her, I love that she's found.
She found her space. Yeah. And it's just hers.
And the pandemic made her find it, but you two support each other wholeheartedly, right?
Thank you. We try.
My sister Ebony.
I love her. She's vibrant. Nobody could speak Spanish like her. And I speak it fluently, but I could never speak it like her.
It's her energy.
It's
her energy.
She embodies the language, babe.
Yeah, most certainly. But she's always had a passion for that. I think we all have our individual spaces. And because we all have our spaces, we have an appreciation for one another. I'm like, don't call me the dance. I'm not the dancing sister. I'm the singing sister.
Yeah.
Ebony is the dancing sister.
Yeah, she is.
Toby is the drawing sister. Scotty
she does do art.
Toby's at the current now. Right?
That's incredible.
Yeah, because
that's just first creativity.
My dad can draw, so he's a carpenter. He can draw. Those kind of things. And then April is the writer. Lincoln is going into music, but he's also really great with
non-agricultural. Is that more like, I don't know, animals?
No, that's Scotty. You think
that's
about
Scotty. Okay,
Scott is the person people call when they want the snakes and the owls,
right?
Saved and protected. But he's not a botanist. He's a naturalist. So anything that has to do with
nature,
the country, the nature, saving the planet.
Somebody got to do it. Thanks for doing it.
Scotty. And he has me very, very conscientious about how I use electricity in the house. It's something that we grow up.
Yeah.
Because he was so passionate about it, I'm very aware of certain things that I do. And I try to make sure that people who visit the house, don't use the whole rule.
Abide by the rules.
Please, I'm watching it, but there's no need to be wasteful.
Right.
And some of us are unintentionally wasteful. But we support one another. We absolutely love one another. And they legitimately there, We don't see each other every day. We definitely don't talk to one another.
Y'all don't have the lives to accommodate that. That kind of luxury. Yeah.
No, Scotty is
busy movers.
Scotty is on a plane every day. I have to pick up the phone and say, Scott, what island you on? For real. Because he always in the bush. He always in the bush somewhere. I'm like, bro, where are you? And then, Ebony's also doing her thing. She has my niece, Ari. And Ari's just amazing. Doing her tennis and things like that. And so I think, family-wise, we've gotten to this really good adult space where we ride.
Good.
Yeah.
And I think that, too, helps you to see how to navigate relationships. It has to kind of mirror the family you have.
Yeah. Now, I'd say this. There are some things that, as with anybody, you have to kind of course correct with your vision for your own family and your own relationships. And there are things that I definitely would want to reinforce. And there are things that I would want to reinforce that kind of love between siblings.
Got you.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that family game night and, that connection with family. But there are things that I would like to do away with, or that I don't want represented in a family that I build, which is sometimes the tendency to isolate, or or maybe even how we resolve misunderstandings.
Yes.
Some of the traumas that come up with growing in such a large family. Because at one point in my life, I had to deal with the trauma of being the oldest daughter. So you come from
responsibility.
Yeah, it's that responsibility, not being able to ask for help, people pleasing because you don't want to seem like a problem because everybody else has so much going on. You don't want to add to their burdens, and so you tend to be kind of neglected in some ways because people always think that you got it. When
you can figure it out. You can do it.
You could be okay. And then everybody else gets the care. So I remember I was active in sports and I hurt my knee, and my knee was swollen, and I didn't know at the time I tore my meniscus, right? Because I was a hurdler. And so
she said that like normal because I was a hurdler.
Yeah, I was a hurdler. And so and that was high school because after high school
you'd be done with them.
Unless
you're really into that.
And your parents have the resources to do that.
True.
Right. So I hurt my knee and it was swollen for a couple of days, and I still got up and limped around the house. And when I said swollen, I mean if you've ever torn a meniscus, even though it's a slight tear, you know how painful that inflammation is. No painkillers, no trip to the hospital, no x-ray, no MRI, no nothing like that. Simply because your family cannot absorb that. I was like, no, it'll be fine in a couple of days. But like my sister had a different issue, and my mom would take her back and forth to the hospital a whole lot because her issue was a lot more.
It looked like it wasn't manageable.
I think
to the person or to the family.
It definitely wasn't something like it was so concerning. She was in and out of the emergency, accident and emergency often enough. And I don't even remember what it is. And I remember, like, I now understand as an adult. I was like, you always just taking her to the hospital. Like, she could be okay. And my mom was like, no, something is wrong. I didn't understand at the time. Like, in my teenage head, I was frustrated because my sister got the medical care.
Medical attention.
And I was being overlooked because I could just limp and I'll be okay, right?
Right.
And so I had to really kind of apologize for that later on because I didn't understand that. And so it's those types of things that I definitely want not to show up and be unaddressed with my child or my children, or anybody that's around me. I understand at this stage I may have to date and marry somebody that has a child, and so I would want their child to feel as though they are loved and appreciated by their bonus mom.
So beautiful.
No, seriously.
No, I mean it's just special. It's really special to hear.
Yeah, because how I can marry you and you have a child and I don't love your child? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, that can't happen. That can't happen.
Like, what is happening? No. Why you do that? How are relationships supposed to be stable if I don't love your child? And it don't matter
if the kid live with the mom or is off to college, whatever it is.
That's love is love.
Yeah,
that's my child.
I gotta love through distance.
Yeah, and so the mommy may not like me, and I'm hoping that that's not the case because if I do end up marrying somebody that has a child, I would.
So just want to plug this in there. If you have a child, don't count yourself out.
Now, it's not my preference, but if that's what God have, then
that's what it can be.
That's what it is. And so essentially, my hope is that I could have somebody that I could start a family of our own together.
Yes.
But boy, at the rate these late 30s and early 40-year-old men going.
They were starting. My daddy had his first child when he was 19.
Yeah.
And my mommy married him when he was 23.
Look at Look a little bonus momish right now.
You be the foxiest one out there.
I can tell you that. Don't mix me up.
It's been an incredible experience being able to watch you, and I didn't realize until my life slowed down a bit within the last couple of weeks how much richness in my country, like I'm so appreciative that I get to be in the Bahamas, get to be beyond the sunshine and sea, the culture of the people, the drive of the people, and because of your influence, there are persons like me that look like, wow, this I may not be able to do some of the things you did, but it definitely gives me the desire to try to thrive in my passion. And I'm so appreciative of whatever sacrifices you made. You had to do this. You did it for me. You did it for a lot of people that you may not ever get to rub shoulders with, but that's how kindness and good work ethics get into the world. It just by you being you. So I really appreciate that.
Wow. Thank you, Malak.
No problem. And I appreciate you guys talking to us. Have a great evening.